not to record, but we'll go ahead and make a recording of this in any event. Okay, so while you were gone last week, we had you watch the 2 videos. Hopefully you guys didn't have any difficulty with that from the Great War series. And actually in here, probably next time, since time we will allow for more next time in addition to talking about the election, we'll get into the origins and causes of the war. Okay, the first episode of that video did a pretty good job, but there's more to it, and there's going to be more stuff that you'll need to know about how that all transpired. Okay? Actually, let me throw this out to you. Who, Garen, did the video seem to point the finger at as most responsible for the beginning of World War I? Germany, yeah, Kaiser Wilhelm II. And we'll see that he's going to, at the end of the war, they're going to go, Germany, you're to blame! And the Germans are like, it's not all our fault. I mean, come on, hello. Which is going to give them a real sense of, wow, they're wrongly accused of doing terrible, terrible things. It's like share the blame, right? Have you ever been like singled out for some wrongdoing and nobody else was punished and you're like just offended? Is that right? Okay. It's like, it's not me, it's not me. Why are you kicking me? Anyway, whatever. Exactly. It's just not fair. It's not fair. So, yeah. It's all right. Yes. Yeah, my kids, they were like, put the candy out for the thing and put a little note that says, take one or you're sus. I'm like, anyway. They decided ultimately not to, but yeah, exactly. So, take a look at this. Shh. I'm going to walk you through this, and we're going to play this video. Awesome. This is, I want you to see kind of this as far as like the war. The war primarily takes place in 2 places. The Western Front, Britain and France versus Germany, although the Canadians are involved and colonials are involved, and ultimately the United States is involved on the Western Front. You will see lots and lots of people die, but key thing, write this down, not much movement on the Western Front. And in fact, you're not going to see by the end of the war Germany occupied by French, British, American, Canadian forces coming from the Western Front. Why does Germany surrender? Haley, why does Germany surrender at the end of the war? Because their tummies are grumbling, because they're hungry, because the British Navy has been blockading them for year after year after year. Now, one thing you will notice, however, write this down, on the Eastern Front, you do see a lot of movement. You're going to see, ultimately, the Germans, Austrians, and Turks, mostly the Germans, ultimately push back the poor Russians because why can't they Russians fight so effectively? Sammy, why not? A little bit. Why do the Russians lose? Because they felt like it, because they didn't have a windmill. What are you talking about? They weren't industrialized. They weren't industrialized. Their armies weren't up to what was needed. So, oh my gosh, we're going to try and show a little bit of this. We'll have it. I've got it going fast, 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 fast. Yeah, oh, we don't need the volume. Okay, there's the war. Okay, so we get the Western Front, you get a little bit of movement there and so forth, but then ultimately they get pushed back and it's going to be pretty stagnant. Over here, this is 1914. Everyone thought it's going to be over by Christmas time, but that was not true. It went into 1915 and then 1916 and so forth. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Over here, it's kind of like, oh, I wonder why the Germans lost control of their colonial provinces in Africa and the Pacific. Maybe their navy wasn't good enough to resupply those outlying provinces, and so the British in particular were able to gain advantage and ultimately take over the African provinces as well as the Pacific ones fell already. Okay? Yeah, Serbia got toasted pretty quickly. But here you can see, watch this. Oh, we're only into 1916? Good grief. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of people, millions even, are dying on the Western Front. Ships are getting sunk. Yeah. Wipe down your desk. Keep watching how this plays out because you're ultimately going to see, let's see, we're into 1916. The United States is not in the war yet. going to go into 1917. When do they finally reach an agreement to stop fighting? 1918. What month? The 11th month. What day? The 11th day. What hour? The 11th hour. What minute? Do they do it in the minute too? I can't remember. Oh, 1917. The United States is in the war, slowly bringing over troops and supplies, although we've been selling supplies to the other side. And here we go. Oh, the Russian Tsar has fallen. Bring in a democracy to Russia. Makes no difference. The Russian democracy has fallen. Oh, look, and Russia is out of the war. The communists have taken over and they've quit. So the Germans think maybe we can win this thing. No, they're starving. They're starving. They need to go to the restroom. By the way, if you need to go to the restroom, go ahead. Yeah, do it now. Don't be late for your next class. Okay? Don't be late to your next class. And now the war is over. Boom. 18th of December. Yep.